Got some visitors right here, and none too happy, some wasps. So let's do some extermination. Why do I feel like this is a bad idea?
This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition.
Early morning wake up. We got a crane lift this morning. We're gonna be, if all goes well, replacing 2 exhaust fans. And got a couple other service technicians meeting me out there. Management's getting there at 6 a.m. with us, and then the crane will be there at 7 a.m. We always like to get there early just to make sure that everything is good to go, the equipment's unhooked, you know, and we're ready to hit the ground running when the crane rolls in. All right, we are on the roof. We're getting ready to change 2 exhaust fans. We're currently checking the speed of the existing ones with the tachometer. So 432 looks like. 432 RPMs. We already checked this one too. So we just write it down right here. And that way the new ones, we can try to match it. So that way the air balance is where it should be. And that's good to know too, because when they air balanced it, they wrote down 430 RPM. So that's about accurate. This one though, they wrote 500. And I'm actually measuring 440. I guess that's close. But anyways. Now we're gonna get everything unhooked, so that way these new fans are a little bit easier to, you know, set and everything when the crane gets here. Now these are bigger fans, so we're using a crane for this, and we typically use cranes for fans anyways, but these guys are a little bit too big to be moving around the roof without a crane. We just got power turned off. We're gonna isolate everything. It's already isolated downstairs, but we're gonna unhook all the electrical, unhook the curbs and everything. This one is interesting. Anybody got a guess on what was going on in there? That is from a rat. A rat was living in this fan at one point in time, eating the insulation. I don't know what it is about rats and insulation. For a while I thought it was moisture, but there wouldn't have been any moisture in this one, so I don't know. Are they just doing it to make bedding? Or interesting though, huh? So we're just getting these guys unhooked. One fan up, one fan going down. Got another one. Rinse and repeat on that one right there. It's all good. I'm supervising from over here. You guys are doing a great job. You're doing great. Keep it up, okay? I'm getting a... It kind of sucks. We didn't plan on this rain, but it's supposed to stop in like a half an hour too. So we set the new one on here. We're getting it hooked up. We're gonna lift this one off and then we'll be done. Then we have both of them up here. Then we got to worry about hinges and all that stuff. We're starting by getting conduit ran to the junction box, which is gonna be right there. And then I'm gonna put a J box right there, and then we gotta put hinges on it, but we gotta leave enough slack in the conduit for the hinge to pivot the fan. So we're focusing on this one first because this is their fryers and they need to be able to turn those on to get it warm. Then we'll get to this flat top one after that. I do not know the phase rotation, so what I have here is I just did color to color for now, and depending on the phase rotation, we may change it after the fact. It'll be super easy because we've got Wagos on here. I know a lot of people are gonna freak out, but I've been having pretty good luck with them. I still don't like the fact that these little things will pop up like that, but it's not releasing the wire. It just makes me uncomfortable, but so far so good. And I haven't had any issues with them. I know a lot of people say, you're gonna burn down the building. They've been pretty good so far. Got the hinge kit installed on this one. Good hinges, has a stop, positive stop, so that's good. Now we're gonna go ahead and turn power onto this one. Check the phase rotation, check the RPMs, and I even got a spare belt in there. I already put, because they had balance company come in and slow these things way down, so I went ahead and matched up the pulleys. So the only thing, I may have to adjust the motor pulley just a little bit. We'll see once we get it running. Go ahead and turn it on. You got it on? All right, and we're gonna turn this guy. We're gonna watch out because it's gonna spit out at us. It's going the right direction. Okay, so that's a plus. So the camera doesn't look like it. We're running at 2.0 amps. All right, Will, you can go ahead and come on up, leave that one running. All right, bye. We're at 2 amps. I got to get in here and see what the motor says, but I know we're going to be fine because we slowed this thing way down. So I got to get down in here and figure out what the max current is. So I got in here, you can actually see it from in here, right over there, and it's 3.14. So we're running in the right direction. We have undercurrent. So now we just got to get the tachometer on there to check the speed of the fan. The gauge is upside down because it's set up for the laser. So we're running at 504, and the other one was at 440. So we need to slow it down just a little bit. All right, we opened up the pulley and we got it to 448. We were at 440 before. That's as close as we're gonna get it. So that's the RPM that the wheel is being spun at. So the shaft of the driven wheel is running at 448 RPMs. So, all right, this fan is done, operational. We're gonna clean it up. We let it run for a few minutes and then we double tighten everything because oftentimes you can find stuff loose from the factory. So we let it run for a minute, then we'll turn it off, double tighten everything, then we'll jump onto that fan over there. All right, we got this one on and hinged. We were worried that it was gonna hit that other fan, but it doesn't. So now we're gonna do the electrical and finish that up. And then we gotta cover up, there's these vent holes right here. We'll cover those up because they're not gonna work anymore. We got some visitors right here. And none too happy, some wasps. So let's do some extermination.
Why do I feel like this is a bad idea? Now we're not gonna be able to get out.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well. My finger went through the bottom of the box. I don't know what kind of footage that was. Now we can't get out. We gotta call a crane to get us out of here. Right here. All right. You're okay. Go ahead and turn it on. And I'm gonna test rotation. It's going in the right direction. And we're running at 3.22 amps. I think we're good. You can go ahead and leave it running and come on up. All right, it was 430 on the last one. This one we got to 440. That's close enough. We're not gonna get too much more. We're splitting hairs trying to get it 5 CFM basically. So we're good on that. We're gonna let it run again for a few minutes, then double tighten everything, and then pretty much gonna be done. I'm gonna have them get in here and get a roofer to come in and put flashing on these because we had to take the flashing off because it was all damaged. And I don't really want to cover up that vent. So I'm gonna talk to him about getting a roofer in here.
When it comes to doing these exhaust fans, you know, I'm not always perfect, but if you have an operating fan, it's always best to throw a tachometer on it, measure the RPMs at the correct location, should be at the driven pulley, at the center of the shaft or whatever. And then when you put in the new fan, then you can dial it back into whatever it was air balanced at. Now, sometimes we don't have that luxury, but, you know, you try your best. Now, in this situation, I know, and I was very sensitive to it. Sometimes, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but this one, they've had an air balance company come in and slow these fans down significantly. I don't agree with what they did, but, you know, whatever. I'm just putting it back to the way that the equipment was before I started working on it, okay? So it's always important to go through that. And then it's pretty much just following the steps, trying to be as efficient as possible when we're doing this work, trying to make sure that, you know, customers getting the best bang for their buck, you know. And, you know, we were being silly, having fun on the roof. We had a lot of downtime while we were waiting for the crane because the crane, because of the rain that was happening, was actually late. We didn't expect that to happen. And so we had a little bit of downtime. We were messing around, having fun. But, you know, it's always good to make sure that you're communicating as a team. Everybody's working together. You know, we're making sure that customers getting the best bang for their buck, but at the same time, we're being safe and, you know, trying to get the job done. Like I said, I'm kind of being repetitive there, but know when to stay in your lane. You know, I had to take the roof flashings off those fans because it wasn't going to work with the hinge setup. And instead of trying to make those damaged flashings work, we just told them to get a roofer out. You guys need to get a roofer out. They need to fix this, make sure it's, you know, up to their par. Now, they probably don't have to have the roof flashings because they had one of those rubber TPO roofs or whatever put on, and it's sealed right up to the fans really well. But still, it's a good idea to let the roofer come out and be the one to make that final determination to say, you know, yes, we need this, yes, we don't. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just a matter of understanding the way the fans work, following, you know, again, being as efficient as possible. So, you know, for instance, little things like when we were running the electrical, we didn't close up the junction box. That way we could check phase rotation and possibly change the rotation. Because this equipment is 3-phase, changing the phase rotation is super easy. Now, had it had a VFD on it, well, there's a few other things you have to do. But in this situation, they were just motor starters controlling these fans. Just literally just switch any of the 2 wires and you could theoretically change the phase rotation, the rotation of the fan. But for whatever reason, color to color matched up and the fans were going in the right direction. We slowed them down to the correct speed and everything was good. Nothing too difficult on this one. Just a standard exhaust fan swap out. So I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please consider checking out my website, HVACRvideos.com. I've got merchandise available. Number 1 seller is these hats on there. They do really well. If you're interested, help to support the channel. You get a hat out of it, right? I purposely designed these hats in a certain way. They have a black underbill. Really important for me because I wear these hats at work every day. This particular hat right here is a flex fit. It's black all the way around, okay? Black underbill, so that way our fingers don't get it dirty. Has the HVACR acronym, but I wanted you guys, for the most part, most of you, to be able to wear these hats at work. My company policy is, and I know everybody's is different, but my company policy is that, you know, I don't want people wearing hats that are not associated with HVAC, and obviously you don't really want them to represent other companies, right? So in this situation, I didn't put HVACR videos or anything like that. It just says HVACR with my color scheme, my font design, and you know, they've been doing really well. A lot of people do like them. Now we have a couple different designs. We have a dad hat that's a really short version, mainly perfect for bald people because it fits your head a little bit different and you can't have a long forehead like me with those dad hats. We also have a flat bill hat that is a snapback on the back. All of the hats have black underbills, but this one right here is the original design. This is the flex fit. It has the curved bill and it's a very breathable hat. That's another thing that doesn't come across on camera. It's not a mesh trucker hat, but it's very breathable. So it reduces the sweating to a minimum. So check it out, HVACRvideos.com. Also, if you're interested in purchasing any tools, go to TrueTechTools.com. I have an offer code, Big Picture, one word. When you use that offer code on majority of the items on their website, you get an 8% discount. I get a small commission when you do that. It's a great way to help support the channel. Last but not least, PayPal, Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Those are all other ways to support the channel. There's links in the show notes of the video. But the easiest way to support this channel is literally watch the videos from beginning to end, okay? If you like the video, if you didn't like the video, if you have feedback for me, leave me a comment down in the YouTube comments. Feel free to shoot me an email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com. I really do appreciate you, and we will catch you on the next one.